All right, let's go Falcons Bears. You have 2 minutes on this one. I mean, we got to do this.
It's the
Bears favored by 3 in Chicago.
It's the Justin Fields audition. The Falcons, the one team that makes sense for him to still be a starting quarterback next year. Now he gets to show them. Here's what you could have.
It's going to be an interesting offseason, of course. Guys like Justin Fields, could be on the market at quarterback. We know Russell Wilson has now been benched and could be.
There was a report out there that the Bears can still get a first-round pick back for Justin Fields. Like, the takes on him are all over the place. It's really fascinating, actually. Like, the Rorschach test that Justin Fields is to people. Like, you're gonna see all kinds of different things from him.
There is this element where, like, going back to the Giants quickly, it is fair to say, like, if you looked at Daniel Jones 5 years as a starter, you can never look back and be like, well, at least he had a good supporting cast these 2 or 3 years. Like, there's literally zero.
Yeah, he's never had the platform for success.
Yeah. And you could, if you're making the Fields case, he has DJ Moore this year, but you would never look back and say, like, the offensive line's been pretty good the last couple of years despite the narrative, but it's not great. Never had a great group of playmakers. Like, if you want to make the Fields case, you would probably do it through that lens, right? Explosive playmaker who's never had an above-average situation. It's been average at best, and it's been below average for most of the time. That's where you're landing there. I'd still like to see more from Fields over these last couple of weeks. I don't think they get a first-rounder for him. There's all these other first-round quarterbacks who might not be as dynamic as Fields, but all these other first-round fringe caliber quarterbacks who are going to be on first-year contracts, like first contracts, right? He's got to get paid within 2 years here.
If they can, by the way, they should make that deal happen immediately. Like,
oh my gosh! I mean,
instantly.
If the Bears could have their pick of Drake May and Caleb Williams,
get a first-round pick back,
and then
getting rid of the guy you're getting rid of, like,
2 other picks
couldn't be better than that.
If they could get their quarterback of choice at the top, plus another top 7 or 8 pick, plus another first rounder, wherever, even if it's 32.
Right. Take it.
Not that the Super Bowl team's going to trade for Fields, but yeah, you absolutely take that. I don't see it happening. Falcons still have technically the Bears are still alive in the playoff picture. I don't know how, but I know we didn't talk about them yesterday as eliminated, so technically
that's true, yeah.
Things can happen. The Falcons do have a path to win. I think every NFC South team has to lose somehow, even if they're playing each other.
Right.
And the Falcons have to win out. I think if the
they're only
Saints,
a game back.
They're rooting for the Saints. Like, if the Bucks lose both, and the Falcons win this week and then beat the Saints next week.
Yeah, they're only a game back, but they don't have tiebreakers, so they need it both. They need 2 games swinging the other way.
They're rooting for the Saints this week, and they need the Bucks to lose to the Panthers next week while winning these next 2 games.
Yes.
And again, the Falcons, they're a tough one to peg because I've been so impressed. I feel like I've said way more positive things about the Falcons than negative this year because I've loved how their free agents have played. I love how their defense has played. Number 1 run defense grade in the NFL this year. Love their pass catchers and their running backs. It really comes down to, like, Desmond Ritter's had some of the most ridiculous turnovers.
Yeah.
And Taylor Heineke played a relatively clean game last week, and they looked like a good team.
That's the thing. The standard of quarterbacking play for them is so low, and yet they still fail to meet it. All they need to do is for the quarterback to just get out of the way and not lose the game for them, and they do a good job. Taylor Heineke had that game. No turnovers last week against the Colts, and they win comfortably because they lent on their playmakers. Bijan Robinson had a really good game. Tyler Algier. They lent on their playmakers, and they won. Like, if your quarterback doesn't screw it up, they win. But whether it's been Heineke or Ritter this season, almost every single game, the quarterback has found a way to cause problems.
Yeah. That's all I got. On this game. No, I think Chicago wants to run the ball. They've had some success in recent weeks. Atlanta, like I said earlier, best run defense grade in the NFL this year. They've done a great job. Like last week against the Colts, when Atlanta wants to crack down against the run, they add extra men to the box, and they're sound up front.
Their defense against Fields will be interesting. Like, it doesn't sound like Gardner Minshew is a good sort of preparation for Justin Fields, but we've said all year they've been running kind of the Anthony Richardson playbook with Minshew. You know, they run a lot of similar things to what Chicago does in terms of the run game, and involving the quarterback and keeping him in there in terms of an extra man that you need to account for in the run game. So in a weird way, I think playing the Colts was actually pretty good preparation for Justin Fields. Now, obviously, it changes having Minshew versus Fields. I mean, you're talking about like half a second in the 40 time. It's different. So it's a different dynamic there with that quarterback. But at least like the bare bones, the concepts are similar, and they've already dealt with that a week ago.
Just to wrap this up too, the reason why there are some people that are still extremely high on Fields is last week he ran for 97 yards. And that can happen at any given time. Designed run game and scrambles. I mean, I still believe that, right? Like I still believe that there's more in Fields, right? Because I've seen him throw the ball accurately before, more accurately than he's been the last couple of years. He does have a pretty good deep ball, and he has that big playability. I think I don't know what that right environment is, but the right environment, the right play calling, the right everything, you could have extremely high-end seasons from Justin Fields. To me, it might be like a lesser version of Cam Newton for me, where people would have to understand all my Cam Newton takes. I think Cam Newton was like a above-average NFL quarterback with the ability to put one MVP caliber season together. I feel like Fields might, forget MVP caliber, but like maybe a really high-end season could be in the cards for Justin Fields with the right environment, with the right everything.
Yeah, I mean, he has taken steps in the right direction, even as a passer. It's just I don't know if he's taken them quickly enough, and they need to keep going. Like that, the problem he's running into right now is that he might not have shown enough to be given the opportunity to keep developing. Like he's reaching this crossroads now where he's going to probably be let go by the Bears this offseason. And if he doesn't find another team that's willing to jump on that freight train and say, yeah, we see what we like, we got 2 or 3 more years of this, then how does he keep getting better? That's his issue. It's like he might be running out of road to show that he can still get better.
All right, man. Bears by 3 in Chicago.
I'm going to go Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going to take Atlanta as well. I don't love it, but I'm buying into Atlanta and Taylor Heineke.